Yo, everybody. I've been grading all of these and discovering that it's really a big waste of time for me to put in the same answers that I'm putting in for like every single person's assignment. So I thought I would just make a quick video instead to go over the answers every week. That just makes so much more sense than because these are taking me hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to grade. This makes a lot more sense and saves us all time. Doesn't. It just saves me time. What does the term westward expansion mean in the American historical context? That one should be incredibly obvious. Westward expansion. It has it in the definition. This is the 19th century expansion of American settlers going from the land that was already established, moving westward. Okay, eventually ending up all the way in California, which is what we learned about this week. Number two, what is manifest destiny and why is it a significant term utilized in American history? Manifest destiny is it's not the idea of people moving. It is the idea that it is their destiny to continue to push west and take over the lands and spread democracy and the American ideals. They use this as a justification to do all sorts of terrible things like killing Native Americans, kicking people off their land, kicking Texians out, or excuse me, not Texians, Tejanos off of their land, right? Thank you. And it's important because this term alone let those people say that what they were doing was okay because God was on their side. If God is on your side, then it gives you a justification to do things that you might not normally do. Okay, it's important. It's also important to recognize that not all Americans felt this way, and there were many Americans that thought that this was a cheap land grab and was an evil move to go west like that, especially because there were already tons of people living there. Okay. Number three, what effect did manifest destiny have on native or indigenous peoples? Well, I already basically touched on that. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands were murdered. Even more were kicked off of their land. Hundreds of thousands were kicked off their land forcefully. They did not have this choice. Schools were opened up, and native kids, were sent to those schools to learn how to be American per se. They had their culture robbed from them. Today, we would call this genocide. Because that is what they did. They killed many thousands of them, and the rest they tried to take away their culture completely. Okay. Number four, what governmental actions allowed or even encouraged westward expansion? Well, first off, the building of the railroads is massively important for that because to be able to move material out there, but also more importantly, I think the Homestead Act is what I wanted you all to reference here. Homestead Act essentially said that any American who had never took up arms against the American government could go just claim 160 acres of land, moving out west. So basically encouraging people to jump on these bandwagons and move out west and take over land. Well, what's the issue here? People already live there. So they're just stealing the land from the people and using manifest destiny as a justification. Again, all of these questions tie in together. There is a goal to asking them together. The final one, this is one of the most famous paintings in American history, especially it is the most famous painting when it comes to manifest destiny. If you Google those two words put together and go to images, you'll see this 100 times. Okay, how does this demonstrate the concept of manifest destiny? Only a few of you really picked up on what I'm looking for here. This giant woman that's like 10 times the size of everybody else and looks pretty angelic because she's flying is supposed to represent manifest destiny because that is representing God. The colonists believe that God is on their side and helping them to take over the westward states and honestly the rest of the continent. So that is what they're trying to portray here. A lot of you reference the Native Americans, but the Native Americans are running from the colonists. They're not helping them. They're not like contributing. Their lives are ruined because of these colonists that are coming in, these expansionists, these colonist expansionist settlers, okay, as they go west. Fun fact story at the end here before I get cut off. Oklahoma Sooners. Sometimes you all reference the Oklahoma Sooners. The term Sooner actually comes from this time frame. It was people that would, when they opened up Oklahoma, they sent everybody there on the same day and you could go claim land. Well, there was a group of women that decided that they would just go to the land early, sooner than everybody else, and anybody that tried to take the land from them, blew them to pieces, killed them. It's pretty crazy. But that's where the Oklahoma Sooners comes from. That's all I got. Good job, everybody. Keep up the good work. I will catch you later and put up answers for the following week. Bye-bye.